Just got back from Mum and Dad's. Pleased to report the cave-in has not gotten any worse. I need one more of those logs to finish the supports down below. I've got 3 more up the top there, so I need one more, then I can do another 2 supports with that. And also I want another couple for my work surfaces, just to finish it off nicely. So I'm going to have to get that done tonight. Basically I've got a lot more to do tonight, and it's raining, so that might not happen. But it's only raining light, so yeah, it's hardly anything. I should do it really, and then I can just crack on and get everything done tomorrow. The digging is very nearly complete, but I'm running out of places to dispose of the spoil. This is the original entrance, which I barely use now, but it's very exposed. The plan is to kill 2 birds with 1 stone by building a sandbag wall and earth bank obscuring this approach. First I will clear the leaf litter to throw back on top as camouflage once the bank is finished. Any bramble or holly that is uprooted gets replanted to provide camouflage. We'll get rid of a lot of sand down there. So I might want another 5 or 6 layers of sandbags up from there, I don't know. But whatever I build up there, I'll put a load of dead bracken, brambles and hollies on top. I've transplanted these hollies in here to cover it up a bit. This place is going to be invisible in a few months. Soon as spring gets going and everything starts growing like crazy. Just got to get these windows in and get it buried in time for that growth spurt. Don't know if I mentioned it before, but I've got a lot of topsoil stored at the back there. So when the windows are in, I'll cover the roof with a bit of sand and then topsoil it on top so that plants will grow on it. I suppose if we drop down here I can show you what I've done. Oh, that's tricky with your hands full. So I've tunnelled out there enough space to get the next one of these in. That's where it's going to be. It's clear all along the top there. There's another pillar going to go in there, so I will eat, and then I'm going to carve the tops of them and get that put in and screwed in, and then I'm going to go and ride and get the sledgehammer. I still want to do that. I still think it's going to be the best way of getting the sandbags packed in real dense on top of this board. Takes quite a while to cut one of those because you're cutting across the grain's fine, but cutting down the grain into wet wood it's quite it just takes a long time. You've got to come at it from that angle and that angle. Get there in the end. Fits quite nicely, so that's the first one done. Losing the light out here now. I'm going to go and ride now. And like I said, I think it's about an hour and a half round trip to the farm. I'll come back with a sledgehammer, and I don't think I'm going to get to that job today, so I was pretty optimistic with my assessment of how quickly things have progressed, but I'm really pleased with what I've got done today. I'm really pleased that I started this bit over here with the other sandbags. That's going to get rid of a lot of spoil, and it's something I've been meaning to do for a long time. It needs to be done to get the area locked down and hidden properly. Also, when I leave the forest now on the bike, I'm going to get some water and some more food, because I'm pretty low on food and I'm very low on water, because I don't know how I fucked that up. I just totally forgot to bring water, or I always assumed I was going to go to the farm yesterday. It doesn't matter Yeah, it's glorious out here. Feels like spring already. It's just around the corner. Birds know it, insects know it. It's amazing how many insects are about. Hope you can hear the birds singing. I wish I could show you the view I've got out here, but it would give away the location. Not a cloud in the sky and not a fucking chemtrail in sight. Oh my god. There's fucking loads of them. Hello there, pig people of the forest. Hello there. I didn't put my hand in there, they'll probably bite it off, but I would not have the heart to raise one of these things, and I would not have the heart to kill it myself or send it to a slaughterhouse. And that is why I eat plants. Fucking hell! Someone got an electric shock on the snout. I have my doubts about veganism because I've not been in the best of health the past few years. It's part and parcel of the reason I went vegan in the first place. And I do have doubts because there's a million and one different opinions and viewpoints, and you can see them all on YouTube. That's why I love this platform so much. The bottom line for me is, if you couldn't raise and kill an animal yourself, if you don't have the heart, if you don't have the stones to do it yourself, you've got no business eating these creatures. If you think you could take a knife and slit this guy's throat, or slit that one's throat. Oh, good God. It's a heavy topic, but you've got to think about it, and you've got to feel it as well. If you're not using your heart, you're never going to fucking understand this stuff. And like I say, I have a crisis of faith going on at the moment with the plant-based diet, because it's not healing me, because I've still got skin problems and I've still got digestive issues. But I know in my heart that I'm doing the right thing by not eating these animals. It's just my head that doubts. It's the head that doubts, and it's the heart that knows. I'm really fucking disappointed in people. I've been eating this way for 3 years now, and I've seen very few people come along the same road as I have. I understand people who don't want to go the whole way. They don't want to go 100%. They don't want to take the label. Personally, I found the label very helpful. And a lot of people would be sitting there saying, yeah, I could raise this thing, I could even name it, and I could get to that day when it's time to turn Porky into pork chops and bacon, and they take the knife or the bolt gun or whatever and they do the deed. And I have a lot of respect for that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that, but you know, as someone who takes the label of vegan, and the reason I do that is to keep myself on the straight and narrow, and it's worked. I'm proud to call myself vegan, and it's also to make a statement to other people to just fucking stop and think for a minute. Not specifically about your diet, but just how you live your whole life, how you live your whole goddamn life. Just stop and take a look and think about what you're doing. And this is just one aspect of it. These things are prisoners, they're slaves effectively. These ones look like they're living the life of Riley. I mean, to be honest, this looks fucking like pig heaven out here, hog heaven they call it, right? But you see some of the cows and the dairies around these parts, and the really big industrial farms that they have. There's a big dairy around here that I've been in. I think it's the first video on this channel. We ride through it, we visit it, and it's just like it's a prison for cows. It's like a concentration camp. And you are what you eat. If you take that frequency into you, it's all about frequencies. That's why this channel is called My Frequencies. If you take that frequency into your body, it has an effect on you. You know, you might be able to intellectualize that it's not the case, but you'll feel it in your heart. Once you start to connect with your heart, really, truly, you'll know that you can't fucking support this stuff. You know, if your end purpose in life is to be a pack of sausages or a piece of bacon, a piece of ham, this is probably about as good as it gets, I reckon. But come on, we're all worth more than that. These pigs are worth more than that.